I'm developing a social media network for animators called SketchTube, and today I wanted to talk about exactly why I will not be allowing any AI animations on the platform. Today I want to talk about why I am against AI, specifically for artists and animators, why it hinders their growth, and why I will not be allowing any posts of this nature on SketchTube itself. In my opinion, AI is affecting artists more negatively than it is positively. What AI does is essentially it steals other artists' work without consent, and it uses it to create its own images. All of the images and now animations, as we're seeing, are cheap copies of what the original artist had created. You can now even ask, for example, everything with going on with the Ghibli AI stuff, you can be like, create this in a Ghibli style. It'll take all of the work of Hayao Miyazaki and his team at Studio Ghibli and create a cheap replica that oftentimes is really accurate, but it's just because they non-consensually took years and years of work of this artist and recreated it in their own style. It's really terrifying to me that this is viewed as, it's not really viewed as ethical, but it's swept under the rug and it's been okay to go for so long. And I think that this especially impacts new artists. Of course it impacts old artists because they're seeing like, okay, this is potentially threatening, but at least they're established and they have had this many years without AI where they got their starting point. But new artists, they're seeing AI static images and now animations. They're like, why should I even start? Because this AI is going to do better than me. I strongly believe that this is not the case because AI is theft. AI is stealing art without consent to create its own copies of it. The original artist never got compensated. Studio Ghibli never got a dime for what they are creating for this AI generated models. This is the definition of theft, taking without permission. I am against this. There already is an amazing platform for artists called Kara, which I believe has no AI images allowed on that platform. However, as I've talked about in this previous video that many of you have seen before, there is no platform for animators to post animations. There is no social media just for animators. Everywhere else that animators post their animations, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, DeviantArt, and Newgrounds, and all of the platforms, they're not specifically designed for beginner animators. A lot of it is riddled with AI and it's impossible to grow in the algorithm. As you know, SketchTube is the platform that I'm developing. I'm a software developer and it favors new artists. The algorithm is chronological and most liked, and there will be some themes and categories, and there will be absolutely no AI allowed on the platform. What happens when AI is allowed on platforms where artists are sharing their work is that that AI image or animation gets just as much screen space as someone's work that they have spent hours into. This essentially tells that the artists that their work, all of their hours and their dedication and effort that they put is just as valuable as this thing that this machine stole and just made a cheap copy of. They're just as valuable because they take up just the same amount of screen space and they can get just the same amount of likes. I don't want to encourage this mentality. I think this is very bad for young artists' mental health, and I think that this is unethical. SketchTube is still currently under development. I'm developing it so far. It has a lot of the main features and the algorithms and the login, logout, like comment system and all of that, but I'm still coming up with the exact idea for how I want to make sure there's no AI on the platform, so I'm open to feedback about this. But the concept that I have so far is similar to how you would ban, report, or block someone. If you see a post on SketchTube that is AI generated and you notice that it's AI generated, there will be like on the 3 dots in the corner, you can say, click, and then AI generated. And what will happen is that post will temporarily be taken down and it will be viewed by a staff member. This is obviously as well, considering that the platform will be small enough. With the time that it grows, more people will be in the administration process, but it will be hand checked, and basically the person will get a chance to say that, okay, this is not AI if they give us their files, like screenshot of the files of, okay, this is how I created it, the file screenshot of the layers and stuff like that. Then, okay, it's not AI, it just is really great animation. If they don't have that, then they get 1 flag. So 1 red flag is one strike or something like that. And then what happens if they get 2 strikes, then they're banned from the platform and their account gets deleted. I think that this is really important to have like a strict policy, because we've seen with platforms like Pinterest especially how if you go on Pinterest and you search for artist inspiration, most of it is AI at this point, and it's so difficult to discern. And I think that we should really have a trained eye for this as well. I think a lot of artists have a trained eye to tell like exactly what AI's flaws are. A lot of people, like just regular people that don't draw and don't animate, they're not able to tell the difference, but we as artists can tell those differences. And I think that being able to repeatedly say, okay, that's the difference, that's the difference, we can really affirm what are those differences and make an effort to not have unfair competition on these sites. There is no way for us to check as a drawing that is being posted is not AI, because there is no technology to check if something is AI. There's no like stamp mark AI. So it's going to be a merit system. It's going to be a user community effort. Like, it's going to be us as a community really trying to do this. This is why I'm making this video, because I want other people to share, and if they create an account on SketchTube, I want them to have the same values as me. We have the value that we create our art ourselves. We are doing it because we love the craft and we're trying to connect with others, and we are anti-AI on this platform. There are plenty of great uses with AI. AI is great for concepting ideas, but for posting a finished product that is just entirely made by AI, why are you even interested in animation? You're not interested in creating animations, you're interested in AI animation, and there's plenty of communities for that, but that's not what SketchTube is for, and that's what I'm really fiercely protecting. I want SketchTube to be for animators who like to draw. I think it's really sad that other platforms don't have this same moral compass and don't have this same idea that this really impacts people, this really impacts artists and visual creatives, because if they did, then we wouldn't have this feeling in the community right now that, is it wrong that I don't like AI? Is it wrong that I find this unethical? Am I being like not ahead with the times? When in actuality, it is theft and it is not moral, and no one is speaking up about it, because if you do, then you're viewed as like, oh, you're just like sticking back with the times and you're not like being forward enough. Listen, I study software engineering. I am like really in this tech space. And I'm telling you, it is not ethical. In my opinion, I don't find it ethical one bit. So I want to keep this, as I've said, in the SketchTube community. Please let me know if you resonate with this video, if you resonate with the topic of AI animations and how it's really not good for artists. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. And I hope that you have a great week, and please join the Discord server down below where we have animators sharing their animations and weekly themes, and also have a Patreon community if you'd like to support in a monetary way. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye!